what I want to focus on more is Kevin Schilling's deck, which is Jund Zombies, but it's not the Jund Zombies you think it is. You would expect to see a Zombies aggro deck with just a lot less trolls here.
Yeah.
Sure, there are a lot less trolls, but it's also playing Splinter Fright, Ghoul Tree, Veilborn Ghoul, Grisly Salvage, and Faithless Looting.
This is interesting.
Right, it's kind of like there were these blue-green self-mill decks that we're seeing play in block, and it's almost on that axis.
So we see the Diagraph Ghoul for Josh and gets in there for 2. And
Josh is going to try to ignore what Kelvin's doing and just attack him. It's probably his game plan here.
Yeah, Gravecrawler doubling his attack force there. And a Gravecrawler on the other side.
For example, there are no Diagraph Ghouls in Schilling's deck.
Alright. Josh gets in for 4. Forest from Kevin, and that is just off of the Evolving Wilds there.
Right, he has a Rootbound Crag in hand, so his mana will be online. In this matchup, Gravecrawler is going to be pretty terrible in Kevin's deck. Not to say that the card's terrible, of course, but Kevin has to become he's the control deck now.
Yeah, it's odd to do that, but you know,
it doesn't.
Josh
block.
is the beatdown, right?
Yep. I would expect, it doesn't block. I would expect that card to be boarded out, or I would at least board it out. He has 3 Jared in his deck as well. So I'm pretty excited. I hope this deck can stick around here. Dragmangler. Interesting. So he's going to try to race the Zombies deck.
Well, yeah, at this point, it's
you can tell by how I said it that I don't like that.
Yeah,
the other guy has mountains in his deck. I don't want to race. Like you're gonna, like we see Josh's head is just full of Thundermaw Hellkites.
And we have a Hell Rider, so everybody in. 1, 2, 3. Already Kevin goes to 11 before any.
Kevin goes to 4.
Yeah.
So this is where I wish Dragman goes back to block Hell Rider. You know, you can't be here at 4 now. And we see another Hell Rider and 2 Thundermaw Hellkites in Josh's hand.
Kevin's in a world of trouble, or he can just start sideboarding now.
Kevin actually has no instant speed removal, so he's dead to the Hell Rider that's going to come down in his turn.
Yeah. I think that classifies as a world of trouble.
Yeah, I think that's why the game's over.
Yeah. So Gravecrawler attacks, because, you know, what else is it going to do?
Right. And, that's 4. Okay. And a pillar, just for good measure.
Yeah.
Now you could pillar, second Hell
Gravecrawler.
Rider, take 8.
And scoop. All right, going to game 2 here.
I mean, second, this is one of the annoying parts about, I know I've been talking about block a lot today, I guess. I like talking about it because if you ever want to find out what's going to be good in a year, watch the block constructed Pro Tour.
I mean, that's a very good, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people mention, but I don't think a lot of people do it. Really, there's not enough players.
If you're a player, or if you're a card speculator, you know.
Yeah.
I guess that's not always true. If you're a card speculator and you watch the last Pro Tour, you would think that Wolfir Silverhearts would be everywhere right now, and they're not. But second Hell Rider is for example, right now I would say, and I'm not a financial person, Hell Rider is a good investment right now.
Sure.
Because the card was such a house in block. Second Hell Rider, as you can see, is almost unbeatable, and Boros is coming out in the next set, which is my my guild of choice, my affiliation, But
no wonder. I'm surprised you're not splashing red in your Esper then, so you can play. You're playing Boros splashing blue.
That's just a different deck. If I'm playing Boros, I'm playing Boros. I'm playing Hell Riders. I'm gonna count your life total from 20 to 0.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a Azorius deck. But what I'm saying is Hell Rider is a very powerful card, and we saw its strength right there.
Yeah, that game ended in 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Right.
So going to board. Kevin in a Stevenson jersey. That's where I went to college.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually called Villa Julie College when I went there. They changed the name of it. I don't quite care for that.
Where is it?
It's in Stevenson, Maryland.
Okay.
Which is it's about 25 minutes away from here. Just kind of in the suburbs, or further out suburbs of Baltimore.
So I really like Kevin Schilling's deck. I hope that we get to actually see it play out one of these times. And I say that because it's possible it might not. Black Red Zombies is very good at being Black Red Zombies. His sideboard options here are spectacular, by the way. So I'm going to run through, and I think I'd bring in almost all of these.
You feel like Kevin has a good matchup in game 2 and 3?
I don't know. Yes, I think so.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 4 Deathrite Shamans. I would bring all of those in. 3 Gnawed of the Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that card, I mean, it's possible that Josh just can't beat it once it's online. 2 Huntmaster of the Fells, and 2 Sever the Bloodline. Maybe Sever, now that the deck's based on haste, doesn't really work anymore. I would be interested in seeing any or all of those come in. The biggest thing what Kevin's got to watch out for when he's sideboarding here, so he has a lot of cards that don't really do anything until turn 4. And he has Splinter Frights. You can't actually play Splinter Fright on turn 3. He has 3 Jareds. You can't play those before turn 4. And he has 4 Ghoul Trees, which you can't really play before turn 4. So that's probably a lot of that. If I were him, I would overload on cheap removal. He has Abrupt Decays in the board. Should really try to kill everything to create time until he can play one of these haymakers.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, he wants to be a control deck, so now he wants to streamline so he can just deal with everything that Josh has in play, and then play a bomb.
Really excited about his finishers. It's unfortunate that the removal spells from Josh Ravitz, the removal spell he's opted for is Tragic Slip, which actually deals with some of these large monsters.
Yeah.
Victim of the Night can't get Ghoul Tree because it's a zombie, but Tragic Slip certainly can.
On Josh's side of the board, he's got 3 copies of Bonfire, 3 copies of Cremate, 3 Duress. It's just all 3 ofs. Duress, Vampire, Nighthawk, and Appetite for Brains. I can see him bringing in the Nighthawks. And what do you think about the Cremates? They actually have targets. He's got zombies, and he's got...
I'm not sure I like any of those cards. I understand if there's...
The other one?
Yeah, and I know that that's...
You think... I feel like Cremate as a cycler, but you maybe just he's not trying to go long. He's trying to.
And I think that's it. It's not high enough value. Like Cremate is such a Josh Ravitz didn't have lens, he's mulliganing, but Cremate is such a hard narrow hate cards. Like you look and you're like, oh, it cycles. It'll be fine. And like you're right, it will be fine. But what if you can't cycle? But what are you actually getting with it? Okay, a Veilborn Ghoul or a Jared, does that actually matter?
Right. Okay. I mean, Gravecrawler on the back end, right?
I don't think Josh Ravitz cares about Schilling.
He certainly didn't care about it in game 1.
Right. And it's like there were. Yeah, I'm not actually sure that's it. Sure, you could play it. Would it be bad? No, but.
Do you think he just doesn't board? Like, what do you think? I mean, I'm not even sure about maybe Bonfire. That's the other card.
I don't think I board anything.
Yeah, like.
I didn't actually because I'm not totally. Well, let's see. What did he see? He saw Dragmangler, so he may board Cremates based off that. But I don't think he's actually cares about the scavenge on Dragmangler.
No,
that's not real.
It's just one of those things where I figure Cremate actually has targets that are sort of relevant, but could consider it. But you're maybe in this matchup he knows that. He just wants to stay streamlined and attack.
Yeah, we should see Ravitz's hand. It looks like he's kept a Boat of Lands, with 1 creature, and that creature is Geralt's Messenger, so that'll be good.
He has at least 1 pillar, maybe 2. It looks like 2 pillars. And
some sideboard Deathrite Shaman from Kevin Schilling. That will be good against Geralt's Messenger. I mean, it will probably eat a pillar, but...
Yeah, but it could be good against Geralt's Messenger.
If it doesn't eat a pillar. It would have been good against Geralt's Messenger, but now it is in exile.
It does eat that Pillar of Flame, as you mentioned. And both players back to just 2 lands each. Keeping the board clear. Blood Crypt from Kevin, tapped, passes back. Josh. Go Land Messenger here.
Yep, third land,
Swamp and Messenger. Burn you for 2.
Schilling can't actually kill the Geralt's Messenger. So, I mean, he can, but he has to, kill it the really awkward way where you kill it twice and even then you take a bunch of damage. Well, you think the way he will, quote-unquote, kill it will be to play something bigger than it. You just need to outclass it.
Oh, he could draw into a Pillar of Flame.
Oh, he does have 3 pillars. My mistake. Yeah. Okay. He's going to cast a main phase Grizzly Salvage. And he hits 5 lands off Grizzly Salvage. Well, Woo! Of those, Woodland Cemetery is clearly the best one.
Yeah.
So I think that's what...
that is an incredible Grizzly Salvage, because he would have been so flooded. If he had not been able to
I mean,
cast that, he would have been out of the game.
It's one of those times where like you look at that and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that's good. I mean, the reason why it's very bad for him is that he has a Gnaw to the Bone in his hand, and a Jared in his hand, and no creatures in his graveyard.
Sure, I mean, I guess that's good,
right.
but at the same time, without casting it, he would have been out of the game.
He'd be out of the game. So I think we was hoping if we were to hit 2 or 3 creatures, he would just be on cloud 9 right now. All right, he's gonna do it. This is pretty cool.
Right.
Whew. What you know, if I were him, I'd be pissed. Okay, I'd be like, I got one creature in 10 cards.
This card does not do what it says it does.
I think he was expecting to dump creatures into the graveyard so that his hand was awesome.
He dumped 8 lands in the graveyard.
Yeah, and drew another land.
Yeah.
So now he has a 3/3 Jared. He'll cast it. He's got Jared, Gnaw, and a bunch of lands. All right, so now we're
just gonna read Gerard or Jared, however you prefer to pronounce it.
So Jared is a 2/2 for 4. He pumps for each creature in the graveyard, and for 3 mana he can fling things.
And he's just going to jump in front of the Grolsch Messenger there just to save.
Pretty unfortunate that, you know, if there was one more, this is where Schilling's got to be mad. If there's one more creature in the graveyard,
yeah.
Well, actually, it kind of helps. If there's one more creature were there one more creature in the graveyard, it would have gotten eaten by the Pillar of Flame. So another Grisly Salvage. Schilling may sack 2 lands, recast Jared. So he's gonna go. Okay, he's gonna go with Splinter Fright. Splinter Fright is currently a 1/1. Or 2/2.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's at least 2 guys there. Yeah.
What's the second? Oh yeah, there's a Ghoul Tree.
Yeah, he dumped in there earlier. So
he can bait here because Josh, and probably will attempt to pillar the Splinter Fright. And Josh has not run another spell yet this game. Josh is flooding equally as hard as Kevin.
Yeah, we knew he kept in hand with a lot of lands, and it's the top of his deck has not helped him. So.
And this, all right, how good can Kevin be? Can Kevin, if he hits 5 lands again?
Right, he's already looking good.
All right.
So 3 dudes and 2 lands.
Well, all right. It's going to take the Deathrite Shaman, so that will make Splinter Fright a 4/4. Now remember, if Splinter Fright trades with Messenger here, Splinter Fright will still be. It will still be exiled, I believe.
I believe so too, just because it was
dealt.
It went to the graveyard this turn, you know, or it went to the graveyard after being.
Schilling taking damage there. I don't like that. Well. It's okay, I suppose. He's got to stop and go back because Splinter Fright had to mill him for 2, and he just drew a card. So, yep. All right. There was on it. So I believe it's a missed trigger, so I don't think he's going to get to mill himself. What happens is I believe here, and I'll check with the judge, is that because Kevin missed his trigger, Josh may let him miss that trigger. If Josh chooses, he can also force Kevin to mill 2.
Yeah.
So I think Josh just gets to play this how he wants. And if I'm Josh, I'd be like, no, you don't mill 2. That's
right. Yeah.
Why you'd want that to happen.
Yeah. So it seems to me, I believe you're correct. I could be wrong, but I agree with you. And it looks like he did not mill. So.
Yeah, so this is what I actually have, and for players playing at home, in my dice bag I have an oversized 6-sided die, and every time I have a card I just plop it on top of my deck. Every time that happens, every time I have an upkeep trigger.
Yeah.
People would be like, why do you have a die that's as big as a card? I'd be like, it's not for rolling. That Ghoul Tree's cast, that guy's a 10/10. Whew. If I'm Kevin, I just throw creatures on the board. Ghoul Tree, followed by Deathrite Shaman. The only way you lose here is if you get burned out. He's not going to cast the Deathrite Shaman he kept. It's interesting. I don't totally know why.
And Josh, I think his hand is just full of lands.
Yeah, he finally did draw a card. I don't think
okay, it was a diagram
pool.
Not exciting, really.
No. He's going to unstep Gnaw to the Bone, and that's
going to put this game out of reach, I think, for Josh.
So Kevin will go up to 17. And another Splinter
now
Fright
he remembers remembers that trigger, so Splinter Fright gets bigger.
And then he draws another Gnaw.
Yeah, after getting rid of all those lands with 3 Grisly Salvages, now he's drawing all business.
He's just going to swing Splinter Fright this turn. Josh goes with him. This game's very over. Ghoul Tree, just a 10/10, I believe. I don't remember if it has Trample.
it does not have trample.
It's just the 10-10. And Knight of Infamy from Josh Ravitz. And I think Josh has gone with the same. Yeah, he's just going to skip it.
Yeah.
So game's 1-1. And so that's the part of deck of Kevin Schilling's deck that I'm excited about.
Yeah,
like,
when it works, right?
Yeah, and the problem is he needed a pretty big handicap. Okay. In the sense that Josh really didn't do anything that game. So we have a report, Drew Levin currently did not have the best tournament day. It was 0-2.
Was that dead? Is that what
Yeah,
he said?
dead, yeah.
Dead. Sphinx's Revelation, apparently not good.
Yes, I'm sure. So, I do, yeah. So, but that's essentially Schilling's plan. As we kind of saw, though, like I said before, so his 3 game enders, Jared, Ghoultree, and Splinterfright, remember, none of them can come down till turn 4. So with Kevin on the draw again, he's in pretty scary territory. What he really has to hope for is an opening, like, for you to design. I like to play the game where you design your opening hand.
Yeah.
What he has to hope for in his opening hand, I think, is something like a bunch of Pillar of Flames, some lands, and a Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah, and hopefully the Grizzly Salvage actually.
The Grizzly Salvage will hit something good.
Like, does something, yeah.
You know, that's what he wants, is just a hand of removal spells.
Or, for Josh to get flooded like he did that game.
Right. He doesn't have an instant speed way to interact with the hasty red creatures. That's, I think, the scariest part for him. Is that, if Josh's hand, as we saw game 1 where it was double Hellrider, double Thundermaw,
yeah,
Kevin has no way to stay, like the Thundermaw will be a lava axe, and it's like he can't really stabilize from that board state.
Yeah, and he's got Abrupt Decay, but that's kind of embarrassing. Really, it doesn't really deal with anything in a high value kind of way. Like you said, it's an instant. It doesn't deal with the haste guys that matter.
Right.
It can only deal with the little guys that either cost 1 and come back, or just cost 1, or a Geralf's Messenger that comes back. So Knight of Infamy deals with that.
Yeah. So
but it's really not that impressive of a removal spell.
So I don't really know of Josh's plan. Josh may. So there are a bunch of and I really like that. I think Josh has the discipline to not sideboard here. There's a bunch of there's one of those situations where Josh could just ruin his deck through sideboarding. You could be like, oh, graveyard guys, cremate. And you could be like, oh, look at those big cards, Appetite for Brains.
Yeah.
And you could side in all 6 of them, and then I'd be like, that's not how you're winning the game.
Right. You just took out damage sources, most likely, because his deck is mono damage sources and Tragic Slip.
Yeah, thinking of a card like Appetite is, you don't want to play 1-for-1 reactive games against a guy who's playing Grizzly Salvage and Faithless Looting. Grizzly Salvage is a draw 3 a lot of the time. I would say there's certainly a lot of sideboarding traps.
Yeah, and I think Josh is experienced enough of a player to not fall into those traps.
Absolutely.
But it does appear that the players are ready to go. Let's see, what do we got? Josh deciding. Looks like he's good. Kevin says all right, and we're off to the races. Swamp Gravecrawler from Josh.
All right, that's
the start he wants. Land go from Kevin.
Yep.
And Gravecrawler gets in.
So he has a bunch of little creatures followed up by a Hellrider. That's going to be Josh's plan. Kevin is going to be pressed to deal with it.
Gravecrawler number 2 comes down.
Let me see. Gate Creeper Vine. Not a bad card. The question is you probably wait to chump block until you can chump block something bigger than a 2/1.
Finds a mountain with that. No actual gates in Kevin's deck.
Yeah. He may just chump. If he has a card like Splinterfright in hand, he'll chump block here. But yeah, I'm not sure. This seems rough for Schilling too. I think that the danger with the deck is even something as little as 2 1-drops is very hard for him to deal with.
And Josh untaps, gonna get in for at least 2 here. Gatecreeper Vine gets in front of one of the Grave Crawlers. Kevin takes another 2. Josh, land, and it looks like a Messenger.
All right, so Messenger. Remember, we have a I don't know if he has the red, but there's a possibility of a Hell Rider next turn. And if that does happen, I don't, that curve is probably just a little too much for Schilling.
Dreg Mangler, Kevin, and he's holding it back just to get in front of that Messenger.
Yeah, there's not a great block for him here, especially not if the Hell Rider. Okay, there's no more than just Searing Spear. There's no more lands in Ravitz's hand. Not relevant though. Schilling's down to 7.
Yeah, this is looking bad for Schilling. He draws after taking another 7, and he's facing lethal. Presumably, he can do something here to maybe buy himself another turn.
He has a Jared. That's looks like a Gnaw. I think Jared's got to come down. He's got to just hope that Gnaw works.
Yeah, there's Jared.
Jared, he's gonna go to 2 or 1 depending on his block, and he's dead to a land. And there it is. That's gonna do it. That's gonna be Hell Rider.
Land, Hell Rider, kill you.
Yep.
And it looks like
a brutally efficient curve.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has won both games. He's won this match on the back of Hell Rider, essentially. And you see how powerful of a card it is. Knocks Kevin to 3 before blockers are even declared.